not there. Thank you, Jacob. So this is where we scour Caesar Sportsbook. We find the absolute best bet that we can find, and we place it here. Greg, you are going. We've got a little bit of these old guy resurgences. Justin Rose playing well. He is your best bet.
I originally had Justin Rose over Will Zalatoris, which I thought was a great matchup for Rosie. But Zalatoris has withdrawn. I hope he's feeling all right. Anyway, I really liked that. So I check out other Rosie options. I wasn't crazy about the other matchups. And I got into Rosie top 20. And I thought that was pretty good odds. I really like his chances at contending here. He's played well here in the past. He has a 6th place finish. He's only played this event twice, but he has a 6th place finish. And he also came in, third or tied third at the US Open, which was at Pebble Beach. And I'm noticing a big resurgence in his ball striking, specifically greens and regulation, which isn't a huge stat. I mean, it's not a stat that we typically a credit to success. But what I love is he's back to hitting 70% of greens and regulation. And when he went into his low spot, greens and regulation plummeted. He had to rely on short game. He had to rely on putting. And now all of a sudden that those greens and regulation are starting to come back. We're starting to see old Justin Rose style of play, and top 20 feels like a really safe number for me with that ability coming back, the strength of the field, and at plus 125, I think it's a steal of a number.
Plus 125 for Justin Rose to finish inside the top 20. I went with another little resurgence. Jason Day over Jordan Spieth. That's minus 120. And KP, we alluded to this maybe last week. I think Spieth is the storyline this week at Pebble Beach. I think that if God forbid he misses the cut this week, I will crank this up to an 11 on how concerned I am.
Yeah, you were really good on this. As the CEO, owner, I don't know what you want to call me, of Spieth Island, I have some shame over not being more on top of this, but you were on this all week, and I looked up some of his numbers. So he is over his last 20 rounds, over his last 4 tournaments, he's lost strokes on approach in each of them. Now, I guess that's measured tournament, so that dates back to, it's like Hero, or no, it's not Hero. It's Tour Championship,
DJ Cup,
DJ, and then Hawaii and Torrey. I think that's right.
That sounds right.
And over his last 20 rounds, he's 56th in this field in strokes gained tee to green. So that's 5 or 6, 7 tournaments, whatever, if he made the cut. That's not good. This field is not good. This field is it's like a lot worse than the American Express. It's kind of low key, not like bad. And
it would be bad to be 56th in the players field.
Right. Totally. And so it's, we talked about it at Hawaii. It doesn't look great. And now it doesn't look great on paper, which to me is more problematic than visually how it actually looks. It's, this is kind of the year anniversary of when it was Spieth, snap back into being Spieth. And now you're is it still, what's going on here? I think you're right. I think he is, if not the story, then one of the top 2 or 3 this week.
Just to add to the storyline here, which this would have been, if we did all 3 of us pick our top stories, mine was the ratings at this event, which last year, because Spieth was in the mix, set some, highs since 2014, 7-year or so highs. It was extremely popular event, and the field wasn't great then either. But in these events, you can get great leaderboards on Sunday, and you can get really compelling events without having a great field. But Jordan Spieth is a big part of that. And you need him to contend to make this a great event, it would seem. We'll see. I mean, there's a possibility that you can get it another way, but he's a needle mover.
Yeah.
And I was really looking forward to seeing him, contend this week, but I have my doubts too.
He holed out from the fairway on 2 consecutive days, I think, for Eagle, right? Friday, Saturday, something like that. And he was
the The one on Saturday was crazy. It was like
that was the huge draw, right?
Yeah, it was insane.
Yeah, on 10, I believe.
He was screaming at Greller the whole time, and the whole thing was just. And then Berger. Well, I'll just go into mine. Berger winning last year. Listen, like he's been awesome for the last 12 months, and it's a little, under the radar. So he has since the start of 2021, he has 22 starts and 10 top 10s. So 45% of the time. And Daniel Berger's not playing John Deere's. He's playing legit big time events. And he's first in this field in ball striking over his last 20 rounds. He's first in this field in tee to green over his last 20 rounds. He's been playing really good golf. I've been seeing on Twitter and kind of in the DFS community, there's some injury concerns. Do you know anything about that, Rick?
I only know what they showed on ESPN Plus last week or on PGA Tour Live. So on Saturday, which was the final round, he, for the first couple holes, hit shots and grabbed his back like very clearly and was kind of gingerly walking around. Now he went on to shoot, I think, like a 2 under 70, and he seemed fine after that, and he completed the round, but he was, for at least a handful of shots early in that round, visibly uncomfortable.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't see that, and he didn't get asked about it today, and he didn't bring it up. So that's I'm glad I do know that, but if I didn't know about that, I would be really, really confident about him finishing in the top 20 this week.
Yeah, he shot a 1 under 71. He was him
and Cantlay are just like so much better than the rest of this field.
Yeah, I have not sent out my weekly email yet. That's one topic, and you brought up another topic earlier that's in there as well. The Jordan Spieth stuff. So yes, they're head and shoulders. It's them and everybody else. It's not close.
Yeah, I think like Ryan Palmer's third if you look at recent kind of tee to green stuff, and he's been fine. He doesn't have a lot of success at Pebble, but it's just very clearly Cantlay and Berger. Of course, I didn't pick either one for one and done, so shame on me.
If Berger does indeed finish inside the top 20, it's minus 125